Welcome to Film Shapes,
the podcast.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
All right. This is an important call.
Hey, all.
Merv.
Hello,
How
Merv.
things?
Yeah, good.
Good.
How's your delay going on there?
I presume, I don't know, you tell me.
That's all right. Oh, it's good.
I think we've got about
Half a
300
second.
milliseconds.
300 milliseconds, according to Roly. Yeah.
All right.
We're actually rolling, but we're just going to kick off. Hi, folks. This is Film Shapes, the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about Black Panther. We have Roly again. Hi.
Hi.
And on the phone from, where are you? Armadale?
I'm at work.
At work. Okay, it's Merv. Hi, Merv.
How are you?
Hey, Merv.
Good. Now, we all saw this together, didn't we? We had a little group date.
Yes, we did.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks for getting the tickets too, Merv. I probably didn't say that.
Yep, not a problem.
Cheers. Yes, that was on Sunday, probably around the time of release in Perth, right? I think so.
Yep.
16th, 15th, something.
We were pretty close.
Close to the line. It's good.
I was waiting for that.
This guy, the Black Panther, first appeared in 1966 in the comics, in a Fantastic Four comic, and it's taken this long to get him onto the screen by himself. He appeared in, a couple of years ago, the Civil War, Merv, is that right?
Yes, that's when it first popped up.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. How
Yeah.
did how did that? Because I can't remember his role back then. But was it just a short cameo towards the end, or
No.
what happened? What was his role in the?
Well, we should mention
America.
we're probably going to start spoiling again, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Let's kick off with this then. His father was killed in Civil War, and and then he goes on a bit of a vengeance hunt for the person who did it, who he thought was the Winter Soldier, who turned out. Anyway,
okay,
we're spoiling another film here now.
Okay, we're
Shit.
spoiling multiple films.
Yeah. But he showed his sort of what would you call it? His dignified nature in that film, and now he's back in this.
But that was the. Oh no! It wasn't the dad in Civil War. It was the current Black Panther. Is that right?
Yeah, the dad was killed in Civil War.
Spoiled.
Spoiler. But that's an oldish film. That's 3 years old now.
I'm sure you've seen it already. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is directed by Ryan Coogler, who's only done a couple of films, Fruitvale Station and Creed, that sort of Rocky spin-off film, starring Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan as the two sort of protagonist, antagonist. A bunch of other people, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira. I've never heard of this woman, but she's great in this.
I will say some of the names in this film are hard to pronounce.
Yeah, well, yeah. Who else is in this? You've got, from other films, you've got Martin Freeman as a CIA director or some kind of position. Ulysses Claw, played by Andy Serkis. He's in another one or two, I think. So there's a couple of returns. But that's one of the good things about this is there's no Iron Man, there's no Spider-Man popping up. I think it's fairly standalone. That's one thing I like about this. Yeah.
What did you like about it, Merv?
That was a very good, enjoyable film. As you said, nice, contained, not too many characters. Yeah, it was just go in, enjoy. You didn't really have to know much backstory or anything. And just sit back and enjoy. Yeah,
I found it pretty easy to get into, having no background of the comic books or anything like that, and this was my entry point into the world of Black Panther. I too found it very easy to enjoy and entertaining watch.
This is one way that I think Marvel are pretty cunning and crafty. They don't just hit you with somebody that you've never seen before, though. They'll give you a little bit of a preamble. Even with Spider-Man, we all know who that is. But before his new Marvel Spider-Man Homecoming, he popped up again in Civil War as well. Little taster.
Yeah, and also they do a fairly big intro sequence explaining some of the history as well.
Yeah,
in this film.
Right,
which I don't think, which I haven't seen in many Marvel films to that extent. Anyway,
Yeah, I guess it sets up the fictional Wakanda, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think otherwise you legitimately wouldn't know what's going on, would you?
Yeah. I had someone tell me, no, this is supposed to be Nigeria. I don't know who that was. I said, no, why? Why do you think that? They said, well, because something happened in one of the earlier films in Nigeria. That was where I think this is going back to the Civil War film again. But I think that was they got the wrong end of the stick there. They were actually off there were some Wakandans in Nigeria, not in Wakanda. This apparently is near Burundi or Rwanda, if you go by that map at the beginning of the film. Somewhere between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Tanzania. They've sort of wedged a fictional country in between those countries.
Is that central, west, south?
Central,
southwest Africa?
As close to central as you could get, I suppose, a little south of central, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Merv, have you read any of the comics, or did you have much background there?
No, I must confess, I'm not a big Marvel comic reader, so I pretty much came in like you guys, not really knowing a lot, just the bare basics.
Yeah, it looks good, this film, doesn't it? It's very, it's colourful, it's very garish, but it's got a good production design, I think.
Well, yeah, we did sit in for the whole closing sequence there of the credits, and the special effects are, pretty much take up a good half of the credits for this film.
Yeah.
And I wanted to one thing as well, which I wasn't aware of, that you guys, being the film nerds that you are, put me onto, which I think would be good to tell other people as well, is this thing with the Marvel films and the credits and the hidden sequences after that.
I'm assuming, I don't want to be rude, Rolly, but I thought everybody knew that about Marvel.
I don't think everyone knows that. I think there'll be some people listening to this that are not aware of that.
Okay, there's a sting, which is like a minute or even less, a little bit after the main end credits. So maybe 2 minutes, a minute or two after, and then sit through the rest, 10 more minutes of rolling credits.
Yeah.
And then there's a final one at the very end.
And that's with every Marvel film, isn't it?
Is it with everyone, Merv?
I'm pretty sure it is. I usually like to go, you sit there all through it, watch all the credits, and kind of go, is that all?
Yeah, sometimes it's not great. Yeah, usually. Sometimes they give you... I reckon it's the one, the mid-credit sting that actually gives you a hint of what's coming in future films. The final one sometimes is a bit flippant, but sometimes funny. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so what else can we say about this film?
Well, firstly, do we think it was great, average, or poor?
I'd go above average.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it great. It was enjoyable, but I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot of it.
Okay.
Nearly a week later.
Right. Okay.
You come away from a film like this with a general feeling, though. I think I had quite a positive feeling walking out of the cinema. I think more so than you guys. I felt like I'd been given a very, if anything, maybe it was a little bit of a wholesome experience.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it nonetheless. It was. It's hard to find a particular flaw with this film without being very picky about something like the.
I'm going to be picky later.
Like the monarchy system that this advanced society's decided to go with, which involves trial by combat. Probably not what I would imagine an ideal society to be run in that way. But
Yeah, I think there are some things you can pick out of it. I as far as like face value, that happens. That's in the story, I think. Things like, somebody we know mentioned that even though they're futuristic and they're very tech savvy, they're still grinding herbs. That's a good point. But I guess that's something we just have to shrug and go,
Any
annoyances on your end, Merv?
I did find the action a bit messy. There was seemed to be swooping camera spinning around constantly. And I just found, the action, you kind of like bits, you're just going, what's going on? It just, got a bit messy in the action front. So the car chase was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Merv, with that frenetic camera movement stuff, but it's no Transformers, is it? You know, you're not getting a headache from it. You know.
Don't say those dirty words.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're getting a bit old for that kind of action film. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. It's hard to follow everything. You'd have to watch it a few times to get it all in, perhaps. Yeah.
To my mind, all these things are easily made up for just by his suit, really, and having a cool suit that takes energy, and then he can collect the energy in the suit and then push it out again.
It's a pretty good conceit, isn't it? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and is it right? He just has to think about putting the suit on, and it goes on. Is that right?
Well, he's got a necklace. He's somehow stores the suit in the necklace now.
But she banged something into the back of his ear, into his brain, that I think means that if he just says into his brain, "suit on," it'll go on. Is that right?
Something like that.
That might be the comms system.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too technologically advanced. So, yeah. So thematically, I suppose this is about like peaceful inclusion and engagement of other countries and with other nations and things, rather than isolationism and secrecy, right? I suppose that's what
definitely a big theme going on with it. Yeah.
Everybody seems to be pushing the king, the Black Panther, towards this, even the bad guy. And ultimately, spoiler, they decide to start to engage. This is a little bit of a smack at Mr. Trampoline, isn't it?
Maybe in the timing of the release. I'm guessing that idea, that isolationist versus coming out into the world and trying to help the world. When you do, I mean, they've got a lot of, there's a lot of privilege going on inside this Wakanda country.
True. Yeah.
While the rest of the world around it is in turmoil and starving and all the rest. So you can see where the argument for having more responsibility does come from. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't think that's bad. I just thought that's where the politics lie for sure in this film. Yeah. Oh, now this is one thing I wanted to bring up, and I still can't get. Maybe you guys can help me. It's a plot issue. It's not a sort of setting issue or anything like the grinding herbs or the monarchy or anything like that. It's actually I think this is a problem. This is the one main problem I have with the film. And I'm going to get a bit detailed here.
Okay.
But here we go. Michael B. Jordan's character, let's call him Killmonger, or Eric if you like.
Yep. His
plan is to become king of Wakanda, right?
Yes.
Let's go with me. And by doing that, to get there, he thinks he's going to bring a peace offering, which is the dead body of Ulysses Claw, right?
Yep.
The crazy one-armed South African guy.
Yep.
Which he does. So why didn't he just kill this geezer and bring him to Wakanda? Why do we have to go through all that stuff at the beginning with he's stealing the vibranium from the British Museum, and then he goes to jump him, gets him out of the prison where he's been captured in South Korea. Well, why all this? Couldn't he have just popped him? And then he maybe would have saved his girlfriend's life as well, right?
Maybe he didn't know how to get there himself. Maybe he needed to be led there by someone who knew, which was maybe Claw knew how to get there somehow.
But he killed him before he got on the plane to go there.
Yeah.
Merv, give us some help.
I didn't notice that, and I'm thinking hard now. You might have a slight point. It's very much like that James Bond film.
Oh, which one?
Which had the same thing, the one with can't remember what it was called now. Where the bloke was all after about getting revenge, Skyfall, getting revenge on M, and he does this whole elaborate plot, and then just walks in dressed as a policeman.
Yes, right, exactly. Well, it goes straight to that. Yeah, exactly. Is that's it? Just to get a few more cool scenes with the antagonist of the plot? I don't know.
Well, is there something where we're missing as well with where Claw got his vibranium from for his arm?
Well,
device, how he actually got that. He had some insider knowledge somehow that isn't fully played out in this film.
The backstory is that he somehow got to Wakanda and stole some of it and then took off.
So there might actually be something within that structured that helps.
Yeah, I still can't think of any reason why he... It seems like Eric knew where Wakanda was. The only thing that was going to get him in there was to take the dead body of Claw. But he'd already found this guy to set up stealing the... I don't know, maybe he had to contact him and get him
he knew.
close
Yeah,
to him.
everyone knows where Wakanda is because it's the poorest, one of the poorest countries in the world
Right.
as far as everyone's concerned. So, but
Yeah.
when he arrived with the dead body, he could gain access. But you're saying, why didn't he kill him sooner?
Well, yeah. Well, as soon as he met him, why didn't he just go, right, I'm taking you to this place, dead? He's quite happy to kill people, as we know.
Yeah. If anyone's got an answer for this, please let us know.
I have done a little research online, and I've got the question a few times, but no answers.
Oh, okay.
Is it just a plot fiddle that didn't quite...
Maybe that
yeah.
no one will notice. I mean, there's that guy in Australia that he might, but don't worry about it.
No, there's a website called Dorkly, which is kind of interesting, and they sussed it out as well. So,
Wow.
yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
anything else to mention about this? Merv, what do you think?
Like I said, I thought it was some really good, strong female characters in there, which is a bit of a novelty for, particularly coming from the comic book world. You know, they weren't tokenistic. They weren't, there to represent anything, but they were the characters. And I read a few bits and pieces. The whole love story was really incidental, which was good.
Yeah, that's true.
It didn't get in the way. She was there to do her thing. He was there to do his thing. And, okay, so we like each other. So,
Yeah, but they had a lot of business to deal with first, didn't they? And then the love
Yeah.
story could take over again.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think she, from the good side, she was encouraging T'Challa to step out, to open up the country. And from the bad side, Killmonger was also sort of pushing him in that direction. So, yeah, that's sort of... Yeah, from the good and the bad, he's got to make this choice, and he's made the choice to open up. So, yeah. But I really... Like, every time I saw... What was the name? Okoye? Is that right? Am I saying that correctly? The general of the guards. Every time she was on screen, I was, yes, come on, this is quite fun.
She's the girl from The Walking Dead.
Right,
believe,
I've only seen one series of that, so I didn't know that was her. Yeah.
So
She's great. Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, it's hard not to mention at least the difference between us, three white guys in Australia sitting in a cinema together and watching this, to what it means. This film means in America would be quite different. And I think there's a lot more politics around this film in America than there is ever going to be here. But,
Right. Well, I guess we're seeing it with a pretty, I don't know, a critical eye maybe, but not a really emotional, and it's not that important for us really, I suppose, is it?
No, I think, we're probably seeing it in some ways more maybe how the filmmakers intended people to see it as well. But,
yeah, well, but the filmmakers are also African-American, the director and the writer as well.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me as a film that white people shouldn't see.
No, not at all.
Instance,
No.
But I mean, I've heard stories through watching a little bit around this film that there are some white people in America saying, "When is it right for me to see this film?"
What?
That it's true.
Really?
This is
Okay.
So we're not really anywhere near questioning it like that here, but
it's doing some great business too. That. I mean, this is a bit of a long bow to draw, but you remember when the female Ghostbusters was made, and there was a huge, misogynistic backlash. Well, we can't have women being the busters, That I don't know if that helped, but that suffered at the box office. That film, it didn't do as well as it was hoping.
Yeah, I haven't seen the film, so
it's all right. It's not fantastic.
It's terrible.
It's all right, Merv. There's some good gags in it.
I did hear some reports that all the guys in it are just dumb, fumbling idiots.
That's Chris Hemsworth, anyway.
Yeah.
But this film has got nearly $500 million worldwide already, so it's doing very well at the box office.
Well, it sounds like we're heading for a sequel.
Yeah, they will. I think they're going to do it. They haven't announced, but they probably will do it. There's nothing announced until after the Infinity Wars, as far as I know, for Marvel. But yeah, they'll keep running. Maybe Black Panther 2, maybe Doctor Stranger. Doctor
Strange?
Is that?
Well, that's after Strange. It can only get stranger.
That's not my joke. I think that's a Chris Hewitt from Empire Magazine
You should have
joke.
just kept it for yourself.
No, I can't take credit for that. Yeah, but
Well, don't
they'll
forget,
do it.
Disney needs lots more content for their new, was it streaming TV station and all that?
Oh, I didn't know about that. Ooh.
Yes, Disney's launching its own online platform.
Oh,
So all the Marvel stuff that's floating around on Netflix and all those other ones is going to be disappearing.
oh really?
Yeah, and so they'll have Marvel Star Wars. So
Makes
Disney
sense.
thinks generational.
Yeah,
So there'll be multiple Black Panther films, I imagine.
makes sense for them. They're going to
Maybe
be.
some more Blade. And don't get
Can I-
they're old Blade.
Yes,
Can I
that's
just
good.
say, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, boom, boom. Yeah. Nice one. Well, thanks, Merv. You could probably go back to work now, I guess.
Yes, I better get back to work.
All right.
And
Thank
get
you,
away
Merv.
from the cockies. I hope they didn't interfere too much. There's
That's
a lot
what-
of cockies around me.
That's that noise.
Squawking.
I thought you were on a chair that was
Shay,
squeaking.
I thought you were looking at me as if it was feedback. I said, it's not feedback.
It's a fucking cockatoo. Wow. Great.
I'm outside in the park.
Ah, very nice. Nice day for it. All
It's
right.
a lovely day.
Yeah. Well, cheers, Merv. Thanks very
See you,
much.
Merv. See you, Cockies.
All right, thank you, guys.
Bye.
Look forward to the next one.
Yes, cheers. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye, everybody.